Whoa.
Whoa. Dear Tim and Moby, I am doing an art project about Frida Kahlo. Who was she? From Andrew. Well, Frida Kahlo was one of the most important Latin American artists of the 20th century. She was born to Margarita Carmen Frida Kahlo y Calderon on July 6, 1907. Her mom was Mexican and her father was German. Yeah, it's quite a name. She grew up in a Coyoacan on the outskirts of Mexico City. When she was little, her father encouraged her to play sports, which was common for the girls at that time.
But at age 7, a viral disease called polio made her very sick, weakening the muscles in her right leg. She wore long skirts through most of her life, in part to hide her leg. While in school, Kahlo witnessed a number of bloody struggles between armed groups in Mexico City. Well, this was during the Mexican Revolution, which gripped the country from 1910 to around 1921.
And it was essentially a fight for a better living conditions for the underprivileged. And because of her experiences in Mexico City, Kahlo became a strong supporter of peasants' rights. And then later in 1925, she was in a bus accident that fractured her own spine and a pelvis and dislocated her shoulder and caused other terrible injuries. And she was hurting so bad that she could never have any children.
To relieve the boredom of recovery and to help deal with the pain and sadness of the accident, she began to paint. In her paintings, Kahlo really explored her identity. In fact, 55 of the 143 paintings she completed were
Were self
self-portraits.
portraits.
Her work deals with her status as a woman, her mixed ancestry, her turbulent marriage to Mexican painter Diego Rivera, the pain of her injuries, and her commitment to
Revolutionary
politics.
politics.
Many people consider her paintings examples of surrealism, since much of what she painted was fantastical, but Kahlo never considered herself a surrealist. Well, she didn't really have a thick mustache like that, but she always painted herself with one, maybe to criticize traditional standards of beauty or to explore her experience of being a woman. Kahlo's work is unique because she took the bright colors and dramatic symbolism of Mexican culture and combined them with traditions from European art. In a painting called The Little Deer, she painted her head onto the body of a stag hit by arrows. The arrows in the stag's back suggest the pain of her injuries, along with the unsuccessful operation she was undergoing to help that pain. But they also evoke the martyrdom of Saint Sebastian, a theme popular in European art. And they also reference the Danza del Venado, a deer hunting ritual dance performed by Mexican tribes. In Two Fridas, she paints two versions of herself, one in traditional Mexican clothes and another
One of
in
the
European
European
clothes
clothes
of
of
the
the
earlier
earlier
century.
century.
A vein connects the hearts of the two women, and blood is dripping out from one end. This was painted just after she and Rivera got divorced. If you look closely, you can see that the Mexican Kahlo holds a portrait of Rivera. Symbols such as the exposed hearts and stormy sky suggest the pain that Kahlo felt. Check out how one of the hearts is broken, and the other one's whole. She seems to be suggesting that Rivera only loved the Mexican part of her. A painting called Roots looks a little more cheerful at first. Her chest is open, but instead of a broken heart, it holds a plant that connects her to the ground. She seems to be getting strength from the earth and helping to bring it back to life. On the other hand, that same plant that connects her to the ground seems to be trapping her. Yeah, in a lot of ways, Kahlo had an unhappy life. And her final years were filled with pain. She even had to have one of her legs amputated.
Before her death on July 13, 1954, when she was only 47 years old.
Her art is filled with sadness, but it also expresses pride in her Mexican heritage and the joy of being a woman. What do you think?
What do you think? Yeah,
Yeah,
me
too.
too.